Time for a Triumph update. I'm working on a Thunderbird. This is the driver's side look at the Twisted Wedge heads that are on this thing. And what I had was a failure of these headers. They both rusted out. Flange here gave it up. Not only that, but there were some holes in the upper pipes too in a couple places. I tried to patch this one, and you know, if it had just been that and everything else was okay, I'd have lived with that. But you know, they're on their way out. I can't sell this car with headers that are going bad. So I got a pair of cheap eBay headers, knowing I was going to have to work them up in order to get them to fit. And the holes weren't lining up on all the cylinders out of the box. So I took my handy dandy gasket. This is just an OEM one. Whenever I put these headers on, I'm going to use the Velcro 1415, which is good for headers. It's got like a graphite on both sides, so it's a little slipperier. It doesn't tend to stick. But here's after grinding, these holes are lining up better. Might have to work that one up a little bit more. We'll see. I think what I'm going to do is stick some studs in the head and see if I can hang the header on the studs, and then pull the studs out and put the bolts in once it's in place. Because this is super tight in here, man. Here's what the header looks like before any work on it. The holes are all nice and round, and these obviously aren't nice and round anymore. I just took some magic marker and made some marks where it looks like I had to take out material. And then I also had to grind a little bit. It looked like it was hitting the engine block where it comes down. So I took a chunk out of that to make sure it was going to fit. You can see what you're up against on the non-modified head or header before you fix the issues and why it refuses to bolt up. You definitely have to work these in order to make it happen. But like I said, I knew that was a possibility. Wasn't a big deal. Ever wonder what the difference is between a Ford V8 exhaust port and a Triumph? A little bit of a difference. This is the difference between a Twisted Wedge exhaust port size and the Triumph. You can see why those Twisted Wedge heads flow so nice, even compared to the stockers. Look at that. Love those heads. I mean, they're not bad looking headers for the money, honestly. The BBKs, to replace the BBKs, was going to be about almost $400, and I just didn't want to do it. But you know, again, here's where this has to go back in. Then on the other side, you got a lot more room. So I started on the hard side first, but I pulled my downpipes down off of the headers. So they're still in nice shape, aluminized. those rust spots are just on the surface. I'm going to hit them with a wire wheel and a little high heat, and many years left in those. But I cut those mounts off because I think they were putting a little stress on the header. But we'll get this done and get this grill cleaned up a little better. Interior's real nice. Real nice for a 87 Thunderbird. Doors look good. I got a custom center console because there's a 4R70W in this. And then I also put a backup camera, 10-inch screen in it. Can do the Android Auto and all that. Got a nice headliner. Years ago, I did a bunch of work on this and then drove it for a few years, and now it just sits. So it's time for her to become somebody else's fun. But anyway, that's my Triumph update.